So I'm going to be showing you the Kid Stick today and how we hook it up and what it comes with and the basic uses of it. So it comes in this nice little box with a little slide out, very well packaged, nicely in foam and everything. I had already unpacked it so I could connect it to the internet, but I'm going to show you how we do all that. So what you receive is a basic instruction book. It's not in super detail, but I feel like anyone that has basic electronic or tablet knowledge can figure it out. I mean, the instructions are good enough, but it's pretty simple. It comes with a remote. The remote does not come with batteries, so you need two AAA batteries. Inside the back of the remote, when you unpack it, you're going to find this little USB thing, and I'm going to show you where that goes, but it's inside the remote. So if you're unpacking and don't see that, that's where it is, and that's where you'll put your two AAA batteries. So then it comes with the Kid Stick itself, just a basic USB stick. Comes with the extender. It comes with a basic USB plug, and it comes with the cord. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. Your Kid Stick on the back has a USB port, has a place to plug it in, and everything you need. So some of your first steps is going to be inserting the USB right there and the extender on this side. You don't have to use this extender if your TV doesn't need it. I find that I use it just because it makes it easier. So then this other cord, the longer one with the USB ports on it, and the micro is what you're going to be hooking into your plug, of course, to plug in. So you can see here that I just plugged the micro portion of the cord in here. So your stick is actually ready at that point. You're going to plug the other end of the cable into your plug just like you would a phone or anything. And you're going to plug this in and plug this into your TV, into any high definition port you have available. So you can see there I plugged the power portion in. The cord's relatively long. You should have plenty of space, but you could always use an extender. So then all I did here is plug it into my available HDMI port, and I had it all hooked up so it's ready to go. So the next thing you're going to want to do is on your regular TV remote that you own, you're going to want to find your input button and make sure you put your TV on the HDMI port that you hooked your smart stick into. So you can see my TV's on a regular cable. I'm going to use my input button, and it's going to bring it up. And I had hooked it into, I believe, HDMI 3. Okay, so it popped up. Now, I had already went through the setup of this because I didn't want this video to have to wait while I was connecting internet and everything. But the first time you hook it up, it's going to show you the setup. And if you, for some reason, ever need to go in there, you can just go up in here. So it's going to walk you through relatively easy. It's going to ask you to turn on your Wi-Fi. Well, first it'll ask you to select your language. It's default on English. And then you're going to go into turn on Wi-Fi and then search for Wi-Fi. So it's a two-step process, and it walks you through it if you hit a wrong button or anything. So then you'll enter your password for your Wi-Fi. I don't use the WPS buttons on the routers. I'm not really sure if this would work with that. I didn't see that option, but I choose not to do that. I don't like doing that. So I just enter my password, and it was very easy. And it'll keep you going through the setup as you need to. A few things I want to point out about this remote. This was the only thing I didn't love about this stick. So there's no pause button. That was the biggest thing that I found a little annoying, because if you're watching TV and you get a phone call or something, or Netflix, and you do want to pause it as an adult, you know, it can be a little pain. Now I'll show you how you can pause it when we're in into a show. Now, if it's just a kid watching it and they're not going to be worried about pause and stuff, it's actually great because you get to set a code and all that, and I'm going to show you that. So one other thing, on this button right here, it's the mouse button that's going to change it from like just clicking like a normal remote to using it like a mouse, and then you can just move it around. The one thing I noticed, when it's on the mouse, you do get a little bit more functionality and faster. However, I found it so touchy that it's hard because you're trying to point the remote where you need, and I mean, it just, that arrow goes everywhere, and I'm going to show you that. Now, this remote also, in the instructions, it does say that you can connect it, it's got a learning remote. So here's the basic instructions. Now, I chose not to do this because I don't want it programmed into my other remotes, but the instructions are right here and very easy if you want to combine the remotes. But I didn't do that. So let's check out how it works. So on your TV screen, you'll see that once it's all set up, and I will want to point out one other thing. During your setup and entering passwords and things, you might find that on the remote, you have a hard time getting back to the continue button. You know, like when you enter your password and your email and all that on certain setup portions, I couldn't get it back. Well, I noticed that the back button here is kind of your go-to button. So anytime you can't get it to do something you want it to do, just hit the back button. It's not going to exit it out. It's going to just take it back to where you can enter the continue or whatever. So you have two choices here. And I'm using the regular clicker portion, and I'll switch it to the mouse in a minute. So this is what the KidZone basic menu looks like. So it comes factory like this. Now, you can add more apps to this. For me, I don't need more apps under the KidZone, so I didn't choose to do that, but I did do it under the parents. So if you want to go to the parents, you're going to go highlight your parents, and every single time you do that, change it, it's going to ask you for your code. Make sure you use a code you can remember or something, because you don't want to forget and not be able to get in. So I did just something very simple. I used 1444. So then it brings me to the parent selection. Now, what this basic, when it comes factory installed, this is all the stuff it comes with. It comes with your email, your web browser, clock, calendar, settings. You can go into your KidZone from here, music. And then what I really, really like the best about this is that you have Google Play. So you will have to set up your Google Play. You can use a new email or your current existing email. So you can see it's pretty much working pretty quickly, and I'm actually in the basement of my house. I wanted to use a smaller TV than my large TV because this is where I watch a lot of this kind of stuff. So it seems to have really good speed. I have an Amazon Fire Stick, and to me this one is as good, if not better, if you have kids. So the one thing I did notice with this remote, I hit the home button and nothing ever happens. I have not yet got the home button to work. So that's where I was saying that this back button is going to take you back to wherever you need to be. So I'm not sure what the deal is with the home button, but I haven't got that to work yet. So when I went into Google Play originally, I downloaded Netflix. Now I know it's under the Kids Zone, but I wanted it on the Adult Zone. So I'm going to go to Netflix, and I had already entered my password and everything. So, you know, when you first set up Netflix, you do have to enter your username and password if you choose to use this. And I didn't have to go online or anything and add the device. I literally just logged in like I would on a computer. So I'm going to go down, and we're going to use something family friendly and continue watching Fuller House. So this is where my issues with the pause button came in. You're gonna, when it starts playing, and you can see it came up pretty quickly, a quick note is that the first time I used it, it was really fuzzy for some reason. And like, at first I was getting very upset thinking, oh my gosh, something's wrong with it or it's not a good connection. So I just exited out of it and started it again, and it's been perfect ever since. So if that happens to you, could be just because it's new, I don't know, but I've never had any issues other than the very first time. So you can see it's working. So now, and relatively quickly too, much quicker than my Blu-ray I have. So now I'm going to click this little button to change it to the mouse. So you can see on the screen, hopefully, I'm not very good at this yet, and I'm sure with practice. Okay, so you can see on the screen right by the baby's face, the arrow. You can kind of see how I'm moving this. It's just like, and I'm sure if you play Wii or video games, you might be used to this. I'm not. So for me, it's a little difficult. For other people, might find it easy. But you can literally click it. And I've really noticed that this whole entire system is basically like a tablet. So anytime you use your tablet, if you have a tablet to watch Netflix or whatever you do on the tablet, web browsing, anything, this is basically exactly the same kind of setup. So what I finally figured out, since there is no pause button, if you put your mouse at the bottom of the screen, it'll bring it up just like a regular tablet, and you can go over and hit the pause button. Now, like I said, I have major issues because it's so touchy getting it to do that. Okay, so you see I finally got it, but I hit it twice, so then you can see how this all is. The sound is good, just like normal on TV. I suppose I can show you that really quick.
I apologize. This is my family not embarrassing me.
I'm using my TV remote for that.
I don't know what the fuss is about. I'm just a regular guy.
And that's where you might find it easier to combine the remotes. Personally, I like keeping them separate, so I don't plan to do that. So what I find, again, I try the home button, and you can see nothing works. I don't know if my home button is just not good, or if I have to be in a certain screen. I'm not really sure, or maybe that's for the internet browser. Could very well be the home button for that. I'm not sure. So I just use the back button, and you might have to click it a couple times to get back to the main screen, but you can see that it's back on Netflix, and now back on my regular thing, and I'm still in the mouse one. So to switch it back, you just hit that mouse button, and then for me this is easier. And go through everything in your settings. And like I said, on the Google Play, it's really nice because you can download any of your favorite apps. Pandora, Hulu. You can even they have the Roku stick. So, I mean, you can literally put anything from Google Play on this. It works just like a tablet, except for it's a stick. And then, like I said, you got the Kids Zone, which is great, because you can limit what your kids can watch. You can put passwords so only you can do it. Lots of great features on this. Again, your settings are up in the corner. And, you know, it basically is like a tablet screen. That's basically exactly how it works. So you can find this on Amazon at the link I will put on the screen. And you can just do a search for it. Also, the Kids Stick, or I think it could be under Smart Stick too, but I'll put a link up. And overall, I'm very pleased with it. I think it's a great system. And I have the Amazon Fire Stick, and you can't as easily add anything you want. I mean, you can only use the Amazon store. It's limited to what it does. Now, if you're just watching Netflix and you're not worried about a password, it might be easier, but I do find that this one has better speed, and I'm very pleased with it. Hope this helped you.